Marriage isn't what you've been told it is, and I'm about to reveal the brutal truth that nobody talks about. The reality that could either save your relationship or help you avoid a massive mistake. Whether you're already married, thinking about getting married, or wondering why so many marriages fail, what I'm going to share with you in this video will completely change how you see marriage forever. And here's the thing. Understanding this truth doesn't mean marriage is bad. It actually means you can finally approach it with your eyes wide open, instead of walking into it blindly, like most people do. Hey, I'm Sarah, and 5 years ago, I walked down the aisle thinking marriage would be this perfect fairy tale. You know, constant romance, deep connection, and happily ever after. But within the first year, reality hit hard. We were arguing over the smallest things, feeling more like roommates than lovers, and I started wondering if I'd made a huge mistake. I felt so alone because everyone around me acted like their marriages were perfect. Then I discovered the truth about what marriage actually is versus what we're sold by movies and society. Once I understood this, everything changed. My husband and I now have a relationship that's stronger and more real than anything I could have imagined. So I created this channel to share what nobody tells you before you say I do, because understanding the brutal truth about marriage is actually what makes it work. All right, so what is marriage actually? I'm going to break this down into 5 brutal truths that will completely change how you see marriage. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll understand why so many marriages struggle and exactly what it takes to make one actually work. Truth number 1, you're not marrying one person. So here's something wild. You're actually marrying multiple versions of the same person across decades. Like the person you marry at 25, they're not going to be the same person at 35, 45, or 65. People change careers. They develop new interests. They go through loss, health issues, and they evolve psychologically. You might be wondering, so does that mean marriage is doomed? Not at all. But here's the key. Successful marriage requires you to repeatedly choose the new versions of your partner as they emerge. Some couples grow together, others grow apart, and the difference isn't luck. It's whether both people are actively working to stay connected through all that change. Truth number 2. Marriage is actually 3 relationships in one. And this is where most couples mess up. They think marriage is just one thing, but it's actually 3 relationships that all need maintenance. You've got the friendship. That's about enjoying each other's company, having fun together, being each other's favorite person. When the friendship dies, you just become roommates who happen to be legally bound. Then there's the romantic partnership, physical intimacy, emotional connection, keeping that spark alive through intentional effort. When romance dies, you're just friends without benefits. And finally, the business partnership, managing money, household stuff, parenting decisions, all the life logistics as a team. When this fails, resentment builds fast from unequal burdens. Here's the thing, you need all 3. Just friendship gets boring. Just romance becomes shallow. Just business, that's completely transactional. The strongest marriages maintain all 3 dimensions continuously. Most couples only focus on 1 or 2 and then wonder why something feels off. Truth number 3, love is not enough. I know, the movies tell you differently, but here's what actually matters more. Compatibility beats chemistry every single time. Shared values matter more than shared hobbies, and commitment matters way more than feelings. Most marriages don't fail because people stop loving each other. They fail because they're fundamentally incompatible in ways that daily life exposes over time. You can love someone deeply and still be completely wrong for each other. Different financial values, different parenting styles, different life priorities, different communication patterns. These incompatibilities don't magically resolve through love. They create daily friction that wears down even the strongest feelings. This is exactly why choosing your spouse is the most important decision you'll ever make. You're not just choosing a romantic partner, you're choosing your co-parent, your financial partner, your retirement companion, and the person who'll make medical decisions for you when you can't. So choose based on compatibility for that reality, not just how they make you feel during the honeymoon phase when your brain chemistry is literally making you temporarily insane. Truth number 4. Marriage requires specific skills. And here's what nobody tells you. Most people don't have these skills naturally. I'm talking about conflict resolution without attacking your partner's character, emotional regulation during disagreements, clear communication about needs and expectations, the ability to compromise on things that matter to both of you, taking responsibility for your part in problems. These aren't things you're born knowing how to do. They're learned abilities that require practice. The couples who stay happily married, they're not just lucky, they're skilled. They've learned how to fight fair, communicate clearly, repair after conflicts, maintain intimacy during stressful times, and adapt to change together. You might be wondering how you develop these skills, right? Well, it starts with recognizing that marriage is something you actively work on, not something that just happens to you. Truth number 5, marriage has predictable stages, and each stage has completely different challenges. The first 2 years, that's adjustment to shared life. Years 3 to 7 involve establishing routines and possibly starting families. Years 8 to 15 often include career building and raising children. Later years involve empty nesting, health changes, and redefining your connection. Each stage requires different things from you. Couples who think marriage should feel the same throughout, they struggle hard when it naturally changes. Your marriage at year 10 will feel completely different than year 1. That's not a problem to fix, that's normal evolution. Understanding this prevents the massive mistake of thinking change means failure. Now here's the really uncomfortable truth that I need you to hear. Marriage doesn't make you happy. Happy people create happy marriages. If you're miserable when you're single, marriage won't fix that. You'll just be miserable with a legal contract and another person's needs to manage. Marriage amplifies what you already are. So if you're generally content, stable, and fulfilled, marriage can enhance that. But if you're unhappy, insecure, or unfulfilled, marriage will magnify those issues like crazy. Let's talk about why marriages really fall apart, because most people get this completely wrong. They think affairs, money problems, or growing apart are the causes of divorce. They're not. They're symptoms. The actual causes are way deeper. Marriages fail when couples stop being friends, when they stop having fun together, stop talking beyond just logistics, stop actually enjoying each other's company. Marriages fail when criticism becomes constant, when partners attack each other's character instead of addressing specific behaviors, when contempt replaces respect. And marriages fail when emotional needs go unmet for so long that resentment becomes the primary feeling in the relationship. When one or both partners feel invisible, unappreciated, or taken for granted. Here's the crazy part. These failures happen slowly through thousands of small neglects, not one big betrayal. That affair everyone points to, that's not what killed the marriage. The years of emotional disconnection that came before it, that's what killed the marriage. So what does a marriage that works actually look like in practice? It's 2 people who chose each other based on compatibility, not just feelings. They actively maintain friendship through shared experiences. They keep romance alive through intentional intimacy, and I mean intentional because it doesn't just happen on its own. They function as an effective team managing life's logistics. They communicate clearly about needs and feelings. They fight about issues without attacking each other's character, and they repair quickly after conflicts instead of holding grudges for days or weeks. They adapt to change by staying curious about each other's evolution. They don't expect their spouse to meet all their needs. They maintain individual identities, friendships, and interests outside the marriage. And most importantly, they understand that marriage is a daily choice, not just a wedding day promise. They wake up and choose their partner again through their actions. Because here's the reality. Feelings fluctuate. Commitment is what carries you through the periods when feelings are low. So now you know the brutal truth about marriage. It's not finding your soulmate and living happily ever after. Marriage is choosing a compatible partner and then both of you working daily to maintain friendship, intimacy, and shared purpose, while everything around you constantly changes. It's simple in concept, but challenging in execution. But understanding what you're actually signing up for, that dramatically increases your chances of success. If you found this helpful and want more honest breakdowns on life topics that most people explain poorly, hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments, what's one marriage truth you wish someone had told you before you got married? And listen, if you think you've got compatibility figured out just because you and your partner like the same movies or have fun together, you're missing the real picture. I just created a video called Compatibility is Not What You Think, The Brutal Truth, where I break down the actual compatibility factors that determine whether a marriage lasts or falls apart. We're talking about the stuff nobody considers before getting married. The hidden incompatibilities that seem small at first but become massive issues years down the line. If this video opened your eyes, the next one is going to completely shift how you evaluate whether you and your partner are actually built to go the distance. Click the video on your screen right now to watch it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one.